Hey guys, what's up? How ya doing? I'm here to talk to you guys about Shingeki no Kyojin's new episode, which is on the final season, which is on episode 87 or episode 12 of the final season part 2, you know? Anyways, this episode right here was actually pretty, sad in a certain way, depending on your point of view and depending how you look at it because of how things just went about itself, you know? So, if anything else, let's just get this started, etc. We have to it that Aaron, we get to see a backstory or a flashback about how Aaron and his friends, along with Connie, Levi, and the others, managed to cross the entire ocean and meet on the Marley continent, you know? There was some funny stuff here and there involving ice cream and seeing a car that's a horse or a cow. I'm like, what the heck? Are you serious? And then it was so funny. But that aside, we get to see some trouble running in with some kid pickpocketing people, you know? We had to it that Levi tells him to stop. Hey, that's not your purse, and a lot of people are surrounding the kid ready to punish him, you know? But Levi and the others decides to, take him away because they know, what they're doing might be inhumane or possibly even very ugly or worse. I don't know. But one thing's for certain is that, it was pretty, sad and deadly. But that aside, we have to it that that they managed to save the kid and run away like hell, you know. Sadly, however, Levi still got pickpocketed, you know. Levi, in turn of saving the kid, later on gets his money stolen, you know. And it was very freaking sad in a certain way, you know, because that kid was trying to maybe steal something, maybe to help himself out. We don't really know, but we have to it that as the episode continues on here and there, we had to it that eventually Levi's group or Aaron's friends and group later on meet up with the Azumabito's mansion or home, you know, and they end up wanting to go find a different way without violence, because if they go along with Zeke's plan, all bets are off for peace and everything else all considered, you know. And it was pretty sad, you know, because when I look at it in a certain way, these guys, Levi and the others who are with the Azumabito talking to the head of the Azumabito family, they really wanted another way to do this. Even the head family says the same thing. I want this to happen too. We don't want any violence. We don't want any bloodshed. But how realistic can you really be right now? Because with all that's happening and what you just saw, how can you make it how are you sure this is gonna work? And Hanji's like, I don't know, but we have to try. But we have to it. Mikasa interrupts the meeting and says, hey, where's Eren, you know? We have to it. Eren actually meets up with the same boy or something to the camp, to where he was going to, you know? And we get to see to it that that the boy was actually living in a tent with his other people, you know, that was in a camp. And it is very freaking sad because Eren explains to Mikasa that this boy and the people who are with him lost everything, and now they're living in tents whatsoever, and so forth. And the sad thing about war is that when you lose something, it's gone, man. I mean, look what's happening right now in the damn world right now with freaking... Yeah, I don't have to explain it because I'm pretty sure you guys know the internet and know what's going on with the global catastrophe right now that's happening. And it's very sad in a certain way because right now, yeah, okay, going back to the anime episode. We had to Eren explains to Mikasa how the boy and his people lost everything and now they're living in tents and they have nowhere else to go. And we have to it that Eren asked Mikasa something like hey, Mikasa, why do you care about me so much? Is it because I'm family? Is it because you care for me? Because I saved you, you know, that kind of thing. And this was the most sad and devastating scene right now, man. I'm just crying mentally inside. I'm like, oh no, please say something. Girl, just say something. When you look at Eren's face, he was literally asking for an answer. Please say something that might be different. That might be freaking different. But we have to, Mikasa's like, your family. I'm like, oh man, that was just a slap in the face right now, man. And we had to, the man ends up asking Eren and Mikasa to come along, and then he speaks in a language that he does not understand, that kind of thing. But we have to it, Armin and the others end up showing up, and they end up having a big, funny party, drinking, eating kind of thing. And, it's also sad because when you see the scene where Eren and his friends are enjoying themselves, having fun and getting drunk, that was the last time that Eren ever smiled or had fun with his friends. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? It is sad and devastating. And later on, the next day came about after that drinking whatsoever. There's a man making a speech about how that the Eldians that's outside of Paradise Island is not to be victimized. They are not to be blamed or be put on trial, or they are not the bad guys. We see Paradise Island as the problem. We must eliminate them off the world, off the map, which is very sad. And considering how this was so cruel in a certain way, that even Levi, along with the others, listening to this, realizing how hard this is. After Eren heard that, he literally just left, and that's when when we get to see some scenes involving about what he saw in his visions, and then how Sasha died, and then everything else. Then we get to see a scene involving his past, having to talk to Yelena about the plan, about how to save Eldia and the world, and Flock was nearby, was eavesdropping, that kind of thing. As the episode continues on in its own way, we get to see a scene where the flashback continues with Eren talking to Historia, which is even more sad and devastating because Eren talks to Historia about what he plans to do. And later on, he confers his plan to Flock, where he will pretend to follow Zeke's order or plan, and that he wants Flock to do the same thing because once he gets control of the power he seeks, he's going to destroy the world and destroy all of his enemies, Which is really sad and devastating, like I said, and repeating myself again, because what Eren is doing, he has no other choice. Historia was telling Eren, you gotta stop this. You understand that there's a lot of people who are not our enemies out there. They will end up dying like your mother without knowing why did she have to die or why she got eaten. They're all going to wonder, why are we getting trampled down? What is the problem? What have we done? God help us, that kind of thing. And we have to it that, Eren's I know what I'm doing is really wrong. However, to end this damn cycle of hatred and vengeance, it all must be buried down in the freaking, under sand and trampled on, Historia still does not like the idea and tries to convince him otherwise, and she's going to do everything she can to stop him, because if she doesn't, she'll not be proud of herself. And Eren's yes, you can be proud of yourself, because you saved me, and if it's too much, I will use the Founder's Titan's powers to manipulate or delete your memories or something, I don't know. But when we have to it, as Eren continues on, that kind of thing, we get to see a scene involving Zeke talking to Eren about the Ackerman blood having headaches here and there, thinking that they have to protect their host whatsoever. But Zeke believes that Mikasa indirectly not mentioning Mikasa's name, saying to Eren that, I'm pretty sure she loves you, man. She just really loves you. So what's your response? And we get to see another scene too, that at the beginning of the final season of Attack on Titan, when there was a war involving Falcon and all that, Eren was actually part of that. He actually cut off his own leg and gouged out his own eye with the freaking bullet. And it was so freaking brutal and very hard to watch, because depending on how you imagine it and know what the feeling of pain is, I'm pretty sure y'all felt all kinds of pain, physically, mentally, or physically or something. You can imagine that cutting off that leg is very hard, and cutting a leg off is not easy, man. It requires a lot of freaking kinetic force or objects whatsoever, and then gouging out your own eye, oh my gosh, man, I'm oh dear lord, that kind of thing. And then we have to it, the flashback ends with Eren talking to Zeke, saying I only have 4 more years left to live. It doesn't matter what's going to happen next, as long as my friends and family can live long, happy lives. And it is really, and this is more devastating, because what Eren is doing. And I'm pretty sure what Eren is doing is that he's trying to protect and help his friends and make sure they don't have to fight anymore, you know? Because he wants them to live long and happy and not care for anything else like of what's to come, as long as they can like forget about the disasters and negativity of the world going after them, you know, that kind of thing. And then we have to it that we go back to present time where there's a bunch of ships trying to shoot down a bunch of like colossal titans, and even though they shot them down, it wasn't enough. And the moment that freaking colossal titan flies past or swims past the boats, dude, it disintegrated the people on that boat and so forth. I'm like, oh my gosh, that steam is really freaking like, fatal, you know, that kind of thing. And then we have to it that Marley tries to shoot them down with a lot of cannons, but it doesn't work, and they continue to trample or rumble, you know, walking on, you know. And we have to it that we get to see to it that the people end up seeing Eren's attack titan, and he's like, and he continues to march forward. We have to it Eren, on the other hand, he ends up thinking in his mind, I'm gonna destroy it, everything. Every single, all my enemies, everything. And then the episode ends off there. Preview of what's to come. The final part of the final season will come up next year. If you guys been reading up with the news and so forth, you'll know Attack on Titan was not going to end that easily. No way. Hell no. That would not be very satisfying if it end on an anime original. That will ruin everything, and people will be freaking raging hard. I mean, very hard, man. I wouldn't be the only one. But, yeah. That aside, throughout this episode, this involves Eren's flashbacks with his friends and what they saw in Marley Continent and what the world is really capable of and what they see in Eldians, especially on the Devils of Paradise Island, they like to label them as. Eren, on the other hand, decides to make the choice, you know, after talking to Historia and Flock, that he would destroy all of his enemies once it presents itself. And like I said, it's very sad and devastating because like Eren is doing this because he has no other option. The world is like going against them, and they want to destroy him and his friends, his people, his family, his home, you know, that kind of thing. And that's why he has no other option, and he's going to exterminate all of his enemies. Very sad, very devastating. I can't believe Mappa decides to end it off like that, and then we're going to have to wait till next year, which is fine because I'm pretty sure they're going to put in a lot of work of what's to come. And I hope, Mappa, don't burn yourself out, okay? Work hard, just don't burn yourself out. But that aside, yeah. Anyways, this part 2 of the final season was actually pretty nice, you know? I mean, the fight here and there, Eren's plan, and then later on, like, everyone working together to stop Eren's genocide because it's just wrong, even though, like, it's understandable, it's still not justified. Genocide is never justified. No matter how much you try to say it of the environment and how the world works, you know, when you're killing, like, billions or even billions of innocent mothers, fathers, children, and babies, man. Oh, man. Honestly, I would not want to... If I had to commit genocide, you know, because the fate allows it or fate made me do it, man, I would not want to allow myself to live with myself after that. I mean, even if Eren does succeed in the genocide, dude, he would just, like, die in a few years, and I'm pretty sure he would not want to live after that. I mean, I'm pretty sure Eren has a conscience, and I'm pretty sure everyone has a conscience, even the psychopaths, but that aside, yeah. Anyways, I thought this part 2 of the final season was pretty nice. The art and animation was actually slick, although there were some problems of steel frames involving like that involves like looking at trees and all that in one episode when it came to the alliance of Marley and the Soviet courts working together. I guess that's an issue. And then like the soundtrack was good. The OST is always good. Hiroyuki Sawano is always like the god of music, the way I look at it, you know, the way how he does things, you know, etc. and so forth. Yeah, I think part 2 of the final season of Attack on Titan was nicely done. I'm looking forward to like the final part, the final conclusion, the conclusion arc of the final season, which will appear next year, which we don't know when. We don't really know if it's going to show up like at the beginning of the year or the middle of the year or the second quarter, whatever you want to say. So we're going to have to like wait and find out. But yeah, looking forward to like next season. So I mean next part or the conclusion arc. So until then, people, I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm Fazito. Have a good day, and I'll see you guys next time, alright? Peace out. Bye-bye. Ta-ta-da!